2K continues to disrespect us with this MyTeam mode, releasing new players, which are really just recycled players, calling it new. I'll come back to this graphic a little later, but first I gotta switch to Madden to show you how players should be released. When Madden first came out, this 90 overall Calvin Johnson was in the game. And let's take a look at his ratings, just so you can get an idea. You see he's got 93 agility, 92 speed, 92 acceleration. Just remember these numbers, because when we switch to the next version that came out a month or so later, the 94 overall, now look at his ratings. He's getting stronger, he's getting faster. And none of his ratings are getting worse. Remember this is important, because when we switch back to this 2K, you're gonna see this cheese. Then there was a 96 overall version that came out later. You see he's still getting better. And then of course today there's a 99 overall Calvin Johnson, and look at that. He's so much better. Now this doesn't just happen for Calvin Johnson. All the players in the game are released just like this. When the game first starts, you get a lowered version of that player. And then as the weeks go on, they start releasing upgraded players. And they even do it for the legends. They have legends in this game. And if they're gonna release a second or third card of a legend, then that second or third card needs to be better. And the reason is because what's the point of putting a card in the game again if it's not gonna be better? This game mode is all about upgrading your team, not downgrading your team. This is a simple concept, even in the real world. You know, think of a cell phone. Let's say you have an iPhone 5. Why would you upgrade to an iPhone 6 if the iPhone 6 was worse than the iPhone 5? You wouldn't do that. Nobody would do that. It's the same thing in the game. If you have Calvin Johnson, the 90 overall version, and then you put out a 88 overall version, why would I want to open up packs to go get that new Calvin Johnson when it's actually worse than what I already have? That doesn't make sense, and that's what 2K is doing. But EA, what they're doing is that they have tremendous pacing with their game. They don't put out the best players on day 1 or on day 30. They gradually increase all the players. So if you have the best team in the game on January 1st, and you don't play the game, you don't do anything for a month, on February 1st, you will no longer have the best team in the game. There's gonna be new players, they're gonna be better, and that keeps the game alive because they're always adding in new, fresh content, not recycled content, new players that are actually better. So now let's switch back over to 2K and see what they're doing with this MyTeam. This is the opening graphic that I started this video with. Now let me ask you a question. Which Gary Payton do you think came out first? The one on the left or the one on the right? The Gary Payton on the left is clearly the better Gary Payton. Let's compare the attributes. The left has a 97 ball handle, the right has a 95 ball handle. The left has a 99 pass, the right has a 94 pass. Left has a 99 vision, the right has 90 vision. This is unbelievable. The standing mid is an 80, while it's a 79 on the right. Then when we look at the defense on the right, look at the pass IQ. It's a 99 for left Gary Payton, but it's a 92 for the right Gary Payton. The only advantage the right Gary Payton has over the left is the lateral quickness. What's going on here?
That's BS, 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 that's BS. I'm here still waiting on a new.
Can you believe that 2K released the Gary Payton on the right after the Gary Payton on the left was already in the game for a few months? Why would you do that? Look at the price. The old Gary Payton is selling for almost double the price, and check this out. The new Gary Payton is a 94 overall. This is the one that came out this week. The old Gary Payton is a 95 95 overall. Why? Why would you do that? And with all the different color cards they have, it's funny that they put out another Ruby Gary Payton to do this. They didn't even switch up the color. Sometimes they switch up the colors. They give you a Sapphire, they give you an Onyx. And, you know, this time they gave you the same color, Ruby. Now let's take a look at Steph Curry. The gold version came out first. Emerald came out second. The gold version has a 93 standing shot three, a 90 shot mid-range. Now let's look at the Emerald. Remember, this card came out after the gold was already in the game. They lowered the three-point shot from 93 to 89. That's unbelievable. And then when we go back to the gold Curry, look at his speed. He had 94 speed at the start of the game, the gold Curry. When we go back to this Emerald version and check out his speed, they dropped it to an 87. And if you look at the position average, now Curry is no longer faster. He's slower than the position average. Why? Why would you do that? Now let's take a look at LeBron James. LeBron James. The gold LeBron James has an 87 standing shot three. And if you watch my videos, you know how important this rating is because he's always making it splash. If they leave him open, he lets it fly, he's gonna make it splash. 87 is so close to 90. 90 is Steph Curry's status. Now look at his driving dunk. His driving dunk is a 90. This is the gold LeBron, remember this. Now let's go look at the Ruby LeBron James and see what we see. The standing shot three is an 83. They lowered it by 4 points. Why? Why would you do that if the gold LeBron, that doesn't make any sense. They lowered his dunk. It was a 90 on the gold, now it's an 87. Why would anybody want to downgrade LeBron? That makes no sense. They did the same thing for Russell Westbrook. This one is amazing. Check out his standing shot close, it's a 93, and his shot three is a 74. When we take a look at the All-Star version, the Ruby Westbrook, look what they did. Standing shot close goes down by 13 to 80, and the standing shot three goes down from 74 to 68. It's the same with the Legends. They put out Shawn Kemp, the gold version. That's prime time Kemp. They put him out first. Look at his ratings. He's an 89 overall. His standing dunk's a 99. His driving dunk is a 96. That's what he was known for. His rebounding is in the 90s. He was a great rebounder. His block, his shot blocking was an 82. He could block shots. Now we go look at the Onyx Shawn Kemp. This one is an 87 overall compared to 89. And I mean, this one, look at his dunk. It's not the same Shawn Kemp. If they wanted to do this, why didn't they put this Shawn Kemp out first and then drop the gold one later? Why did they reverse it? Why did they drop the gold one first and then drop this one? Remember in Madden, the ratings were always better. When they release the card a second time, a third time, they're always better. Nothing goes backwards. In 2K, a lot of ratings are going backwards. They might upgrade something here and there, but then they're taken away from there and over here, and it makes no sense. That doesn't make sense. 2K did not think about this game mode. It's not deep at all. They don't have enough content. They want us to believe that they do. That's why they keep dropping these promos, and there's no justification for that. As I've shown you several times, many different players, the ratings, there's no justification to drop a player again if the ratings are going to be worse, if they're going to be downgrades. But the biggest slap in the face is not even all these cards, because honestly, this video would go on for hours if I showed you all the fails with the cards. But the biggest slap in the face is definitely the pink diamond locker code players. I have to make a separate video all for this locker code, giving out, typing in Twitter cheese. And I also have to talk about the Diamond Shack ripoff as well. That video is coming soon.